Good morning, fifth graders. I hope your day is off to a good start. We are working again today with some decimals. Today is rounding off decimals, and really the rules are the same for rounding decimals as they are for rounding whole numbers, and you've done that already this year, so this shouldn't be too difficult for you. Notice the rule. It says to round off a decimal, if the last digit of the decimal is less than 5, drop it. If the last digit is 5 or more, drop it and add 1 to the digit preceding it. Let's take a look at section number 1, letter A. We have 47 hundredths, and the directions tell us to round off to the nearest tenth. Remember, when I say tenths, you say what? Tenths, tenths. When I say hundredths, you say 2. Hundredths, hundredths. When I say thousandths, you say 3. Thousandths, thousandths. Oh, it's so much better whenever you're here and I can hear that energetic answer. Sure do miss you guys. All right, let's take a look right here. 47 hundredths, we're going to the nearest tenth. So tenths is one spot after the decimal. This is my determining digit. Now, what did the rule say? If it's 5 or larger, then we round this number by adding 1 to it. And then you simply just drop the 7. So the 4 becomes 5 tenths. So 47 hundredths rounds to 5 tenths. Let's try letter B. We have 1 and 62 hundredths, so don't be thrown off by the whole number. Don't worry about him. We're only looking at the tenths, which is the first digit after the decimal. Put your little arrow there. Underline the determining digit. It's less than 5, so the 6 stays the same. Everything before the arrow stays the same, so it's 1 and 6 tenths. We don't need the number 2. We just drop that. And then for letter C, we have 88 hundredths. I forgot my decimal there. 88 hundredths. And so we put our arrow here. Determining digit is 8. If it's 5 or larger, we round up. So that 8 becomes a 9. And this guy here is dropped. So it's just simply 9 tenths. Let's see if you can get D and E correct. Look at section 2. Round off to the nearest hundredth. Remember, the number 100 has 2 zeros. So you're going 2 spots after the decimal. So we have 829 thousandths, 1, 2. This is my determining digit. It's a 9, so the 2 rounds up. And that becomes 83 hundredths. Letter B, 463 thousandths. I go 1, 2 spots. There's my 3 determining digit. It's less than 5, so that simply is 46 hundredths. And then for the last one, 1 and 205 thousandths, tenths. Hundredths, thousandths is my determining digit. It's a 5, so the 0 changes to a 1. Everything before the arrow stays the same. Everything after the arrow, we just simply drop it off. All right, so that's for sections 1 and 2. Let's take a peek at section 3, letter A. We're dividing and checking. Annex zeros until the problem terminates. Remember, the word annex simply means adding. And so you're going to add a 0 one at a time. So we've got 24 dividing into 21. Obviously, we know 24 cannot divide into 21. So immediately, I'm going to add my decimal here, bring it straight up, add 1 0. Now the number 24, you can estimate with a 2. You can also think of the number 25. That might be a little easier for you. And 25 would go into 210 8 times. So I'll put an 8 up top. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry that 3. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 3 is 19. Now we can subtract. 10 minus 2, 8. 10 minus 9 is 1. 18 is less than 24, but it's not terminated. So we add yet another 0. Bring it down. Think about 25. 25 into 180 would go 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. Add your 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. 10 minus 8 is 2. 7 minus 6 is 1. That is less than our 24, but it still has not yet terminated. Let's hope that this is the final 0. We're going to add another 0. We're going to extend our line, And 25, because that's close to 24, can go into 120 5 times. 5 times 4, 20. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, and hallelujah, that is the answer. It's terminated. 875 thousandths. Don't forget this little guy there. That decimal is important. You've got one more like that to do, and I'll give you a hint. On letter B, you only have to annex 2 zeros for letter B. So stick with it. I believe the rest of the lesson is pretty self-explanatory. On section 8, remember you're just dividing. It says 42 boxes is how many times? As much as 7 boxes. Just divide 42 by 7 to get 6. Now the answers will be whole numbers for 8, but for 9, they'll be fractions. How do I know that? Because it says 6 is what part of 18. Therefore, when it says what part, I think of fractions. So you say 6/18, and that reduces to 1/3. All right, you got this, guys. Do your best on your math. And by the way, your work overall is looking good. So I am proud of you. I know this is not easy, but you are doing a good job overall. So keep up the good work. Have a great day. I'll be coming to you a little later on with another history video. See you soon.